you are all having a blessed day. Welcome to today's session. You should be able to hear me loud and clear. This is your host, Wendy Pips. And if you are brand new, then welcome, first of all. We come on these sessions to mark up, see if we have any trade ideas that play out live, and just learn from each other. As a reminder, none of that which is discussed throughout the session is financial advice. There is no financial advice given on these sessions. We just try to get better at our skills and see what goes on in the market. I believe last week was when we had FOMC, and after that, it's just been pretty chill news wise. As always, we check the economic calendar to see what's going on. For tomorrow, nothing crazy. The big main focus day of this week is going to be on Friday. We have NFP, so we'll get a decent amount of volatility there. Otherwise, pretty chill. And then next week, Tuesday morning, CPI. That's going to be a focus day as well. So let's get right into it. Gold's been pushing up like crazy. This larger sell zone was discussed last week, so we are getting into it now. Just a matter of being patient and seeing where we get an opportunity. So let me just reset this here. Key level there, key levels. I really like having gold up on key levels because if you guys see, we got a rejection here and then price came closed above, and then these were your Asian session buys. Pretty textbook, yeah. But where gold is at right now, I really want to just see what it does as we get a little bit further up, especially around 46.75, that whole quarter level, seeing what type of reaction we get. I'm not too keen on forcing any sort of positions as of yet, because this thing's just been on a total rampage. You had the small pullback during Asian session, like our 6 p.m. open here, and just into this little trap candle, and then took off. Did not see this. I was looking for a second, but missed this part, so it's all good. But yeah, gold kind of we're just sitting on our hands with where it's at right now. This thing's just on a rampage. Silver sell zones that's played out. Might potentially get something with silver into this upper range here. Um, Similar to gold, I kind of want to wait and see what goes on because I can just as much see silver come and take out this level here. Have things reset. If it gives a pullback, awesome. But as of right now, the next potential area for silver I see is up here. This inner wick usually tends to get taken out whenever I've seen structure like this on multiple pairs. It usually gets taken out. This is like inner liquidity for me personally. Moving on to indices. I'm actually considering a potential short. Really depends on how we close inside of this whole range and seeing what the London session volume gives. Because if this starts to decline in buying volume, we look to attempt with the stop above 320s, like 330, and an easy target first would be like the gap fill. I do think we come lower tomorrow. If not tomorrow, so as we get into this week, setting up for NFP, maybe we get one gigantic push up and then it just takes out everything. But you have a liquidity pocket left here today. So personally, if you do catch the shorts and we come aggressively inside this gap fill, price has motive to come refill this imbalance and take out this liquidity. So just you have multiple TP areas and conviction to let at least some of your position continue to ride, basically. Moving on. So I do like potential shorts. Where this is at, I won't buy it until I see this sweep happen. All these other areas are a bit risky for me and not my type of play. Sunday open gave a nice gap fill, drop down inside the trap candle. Have a little reset here, see what we have. US 30 looks uglier compared to NAS personally. Honestly, I'm okay with kind of sitting on my hands on 30. I don't really like where it's at. Um, it's got a similar 30-minute trap candle as NAS. We rebalanced. Would have to hold inside of this area. I'd much rather be patient and see what happens going into tomorrow. We've got some nice trend line liquidity built up. There we go. Another set of lows for US 30 to take out right here. Come on, there we go. If we take out this low, especially, we're coming for the rest of this, which would 100% make sense from a technical point of view. So we'll see, because this is all pretty efficient. This last push up rebalance that price action. We got our zones for both. We'll just see how it plays out. SPX, similar area in terms of how it's setting up, which is really good because then that gives us some conviction to potentially take the lagging indice. So if we see that the SPX and US 30 react in the area they're at and NAS hasn't yet, but it's slowly like showing signs, then we can short NAS. Use the other two assets um, as a way to kind of guide you to make your next decision. So all three of them, similar things. So I'm not going to repeat myself. DXY, let's see where this is. I can see a potential retracement, so maybe seeing this drop down a little bit more, like seeing a small push back inside of here. How's the rest of this look? Ideally, seeing price come right back into here, so it dropping down a bit, meaning gold continues to push up into our larger time frame zone, and then we get a gold sell because dollar would go up at that point. So something like this play off the dollar is what I like personally. Oil, spoke about this area. It did barely tap the box, not fully into where I wanted, but it did give a reaction of like because oil likes its support resistance areas. This was just a key level. Fortunately, did not get into this. I still like the potential move. We'll see what happens as if we get one more pullback. But for now, I'm okay with sitting on my hands for oil personally. I can see another drop. We've got equal lows here, but I'm not gonna force anything here. Moving on to currency pairs, these will probably skim through pretty quickly. Um, yeah, I would not buy peso inside of here just because of these lows. This seems a little sketch, so be patient on how this goes, or maybe have reduced risk. Peso, I can definitely see coming lower. UJ, our area, bro, we waited for this area for weeks, and if you've been paying attention, this played out. All right, this is run. You took out the entrance of the box. 400 pips. Solid move. I still see this coming lower. So now it's like use structure inside of, like use what we have to work with. So if we can get another push up inside of like the 160s to short off for there, that would be awesome. And then bring it all the way down to 150. We took out the liquidity on USD Swiss. Would like to potentially see some buys inside of this zone here. So drop down, come back up. That makes sense. Because at this point where price is at, it has more motive to come and rebalance down here before going all the way up and then coming back down. So I'll make sure we got alert set. You see CAD, this area they play out. This one, I'm not as convinced anymore. Like this still gave a decent move. First time 80 pips, second time 120 pips. What I would say is wait for this to get swept, these lows, and then see where dollar is at as well. For me, I think these are not going to get taken, but probably a buy after we sweep first for me personally. Set an alert. Just going through these. NZD chef still running, so no point touch this. I can see this coming all the way up here. NZD USD, I would love to see if we can get the pullback. Um, Looks like NZD players are all leaving this area, so we'll see if it does give a pullback. Get an alert set. NZD JPY. I think we get one more push up here, clear out these highs, and then short. So I still like the same bias idea we had as last week for this. NZD CAD, this one did take out the highs. I thought we would come lower, so this one okay with staying out of. Let's see if there are any other potential play setup. No, it's kind of like already made its move, so it's gonna come up to like 0.8100, 100%. Give me 1 second, guys. Just need to adjust something on the other screen. Alright, cool. Sorry about that. Make sure the stream's still good on my end. Alright, okay. Yeah, like this is so close to its exit area. Next target basically, so not touching that. Our bias for GPs lower is been playing out. So now where this is at, let's see if we'll potential area. Price can pull back inside here. Look to continue to short this down. Looking at this all the way down into here. Personally, this is what I see. Especially like a big TP target would be these lows. So we got that set up here. TP Swiss. I still like, and I'm in favor of this coming lower, still a little bit deeper into the zone, and then going higher to fill the gap here. I still do like this area for sure. GP CAD. Nothing with this. This is just moving sideways, so nothing there on that. GP AUD getting closer and closer to this area that I've been waiting for, so we'll see what happens when price gets inside of here. Got alert set, yep. GPUSD. This gave a slight move here, but did not want to continue playing out, unfortunately, so that's okay. We had other bangers. This is still a potential possibility because we want the dollar to retrace back up, so that will cause GP to come back down. Oh, wait a second. Oh, this is inside of a weekly trap candle. So this will play out, take a little bit to play out, but I do see shorts potentially happening. Get one more push up to read. balanced price action here. So not a official idea, but I'm gonna keep an eye on what price does when we get up here. Actually, scratch that. This is why I always look deeper into what's happened in the past. Oh, I don't like the short from this specific area anymore. You can see this wick getting taken out first. GJ, this was some crazy price action. Probably gonna see some buys on this, but honestly, the way this has been chaotic, I'm really okay with not touching this. Just a lot going on in here. Not worth it for me personally. It was inside of the trap candle, but no, not. Euro potential retracements coming soon. Hmm. Kind of okay with letting this break out of its consolidation. It's building out a little weird. I'm not really in favor of this. Moving on. Dang, this thing dropping. We did speak about bias to the downside. Yeah, continue lower. So similar thought in terms of if we can get another pullback into here. Just saying this and come down here. So that's one zone. The second zone that is a potential probability is this zone here. So two potential zones for this to play out. It would make sense to just respect this. You never know what some crazy news that can happen. Gives pushes a little bit higher, which does make sense technically. There is this imbalance, so we'll keep those two zones. Maybe you can split your risk if you do want to attempt both, just in case. Euro JPY, same thing. I don't like all these wicks that are here. These will usually get taken out. I'm not gonna say like short from here because I also don't like this imbalance. So with weird price action like this, I'm okay with sitting on my hands. Euro GBP, this is just consolidating. Nothing for us here. Euro NZD, same lower price action for sure. I just don't see it coming all the way back here to continue to short. It's just more probable to come lower. So with this, we'll just chill off of this for now. And it should be pretty simple in terms of guys, like if you know what you're looking for, if it's not there, you don't take it. Don't force yourself to always continue looking at the chart. If it doesn't stand out to you and you know you have a system and rules that are in place to qualify a setup being taken, then you just stick to that and you keep moving forward. Like for me, is I don't see anything super tempting because I still see this becoming lower, obviously, down into this imbalance. But none of these areas look tempting to short, personally, for me. Like it's higher risk. Euro on. I can see this low getting taken out because we have this inefficient price action here. So that makes sense to me. Again, just a reminder, this is just what I see, what I've experienced. Doesn't mean I'm always 100% right. It's just that's my bias and what has worked for me. Still in my learning phase, just like everyone else. But if you see a setup that is totally different from mine, I highly encourage you to take it. That way you build evidence for yourself. It's data. It's like doing your homework, getting it back, and now you can see what you did right or wrong. But in this case, there's not necessarily wrong. It's a learning point. It's information that can only help you get better. You don't truly lose, until you're like just giving up basically. You can turn those trades that hit stop loss into the lessons to help you get better. Um, yeah, I know this is just chilling. It's been moving sideways. Yeah, anything with the yen, I'm not touching this until we get more data because this is just crazy price action push down. Like, I know, I'm pretty sure they must have had some news. News is excuse, but let's see, was there anything? Bank holiday? Huh, some crazy manipulation. I mean, everything happens for a reason. Like, all these wicks were meant to get taken out. That's why we talk about the wicks getting taken out, which is exactly what happened. Yeah, nope. Same lower price action, and it's in a weird point where it's like you have one, two areas to attempt, but then you have liquidity resting at top. So this is just very improbable and not worth me attempting anything inside of these areas. Hmm. Still have this higher zone for odd. Um, so I'm still waiting on this personally. I don't like the trap candles that have previous inefficient price action below it. They don't have a high probability for me. Odd versus NZB still higher, but this is just chopping sideways, so we don't do anything in this situation. This one's a lot cleaner for compared to all the other ends. This pops up inside the hourly 4 hour chop candle. We come rebalance. So this is a little cleaner to play. It's still crazy. This is gonna get taken out. Odd Swiss might hold on. No, this high is gonna get taken because the way price has been trending, it's gonna want to come rebalance inside of this candle and right above it as well. So Oshef's gonna completely take that zone out. If anything, it does give you a pullback. You're looking at price inside of here. There we go. If it clears this high and doesn't come back first, and I would reevaluate, but I would rather this pull back for us before we can get in. Okay, same concept. Like if it does give you the pullback, awesome. If it clears this high, then it's just less probable. And how this is going, it's probably going to clear this high, especially with more volume kicking in a bit. Yen, yen pairs were looking crazy. Notice the all-time highs. No point touching that. This is potentially setting up for a short-term sell. We'll have to see how the other indices react tomorrow, to be honest. This is a bit more riskier. Obviously, just look for buys if you can. But I can see some short-term sells coming. Maybe we pull back to rebalance this price action before we continue higher to 25,000, 25,200. As of right now, just be patient. Wait for more data tomorrow morning with how everything else is placed into the market. Showing on this. Take a quick look at what. Okay, so this is, if we can get $28, I would love to see if I can take some short contracts for from here down into $15. Snapchat, our position is still playing out. We're entered and down in here. If you've been paying attention, you're chilling on this. Did speak about we will if I can get a drop back into $6, that'll be awesome. Got alert set, so still waiting for that personally. So that daily, oh, this was that first daily zone. We were trying to play off of here, this 4 hour. Basically didn't get a close inside. Oh, actually did. It was this one right here. My bad. Yeah, so this did play out. Rebound, surprise action, and then continue running up. So this was the move initially, and it worked out. Trap candles. Now where this is at, let's see. I mean, this thing can easily just blow up to 86,000, 87,000. It would make sense. Um, I wanted to see this come lower and lower, but the way this is building up, probably not. I mean, not a full complaint, but it's okay. You know, with this, I don't want to touch it until we get a little bit further up. If we get some short opportunities, we got liquidity resting here for sure. Let's see what gold is doing real quick before we call it a night. Still on a rampage, not touching this until the zone we're waiting for. Wait, where did my box disappear to? That's strange. But the whole general idea was inside of here. So just waiting on this. Wish we had a pullback. The only pullback was really inside this 30 minute. Oh, this was at the 10:30 hour. Yeah, that was the only pullback. Dang. It's okay. Learning point. Alright, cool. This is actually a good example as a learning point. Is some people would have seen this reaction here and be like, "Oh, it's stitching the trap candle," but then price gives you that pullback into it to actually play out. So just sometimes, just because your trap candle doesn't initially get played out, see how price develops. If there's motive for price to come back down, it will rebalance. Because look what happened here. We had some trendline liquidity built up. Price takes it out. This is your last push down to rebalance. Well, sorry, not rebalance. Take out other people's positions too. Just breaking this down a little bit further. Yeah, it's solid. Just learning points for those watching. All right, we will call it a night. We got our biases. Gold shorts up in here, silver a little further up, and then indices. But oh, the short idea for indices is literally playing out. So if you were on the session and you were looking at this area, this is playing out currently. Uh, any potential pullbacks? If it comes back into 28.57, you have a chance. But this is a solid reaction. I did say we are in the zones too short, so if you took it, you are technically up. You are up 40, almost 50 pips, 50 points. Sorry. I still like these shorts. We'll see how the volume for London kicks in. But if we can get a bearish close and this engulfs, like there's good volume on this. Just want to make sure this fully closes and continue showing signs of strength too short volume wise. Um, I can see this playing out going into tomorrow. But with that said, family, appreciate you guys hopping on, supporting, and watching. I hope you had a learning point. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the Powerhouse crew. As always, anything that is discussed here is not financial advice. We're just hopping on, trying to better our skills